Welcome, crypto trader and YouTubers. I have an incredibly exciting presentation today because I started to send out my email predictions in my email list. And the first one that went out last night went out right around this time, okay? Right around that time. And the market was roughly at 500. And I said, and we're going to go to it very quickly here, bada bing, bada boom. Right here. Short-term analysis. Near-term bounce ahead with the solid cryptos like Walton, EOS, PivX, Stellar, VeChain, Ethereum, and Wings moving up now. Lesser projects with more speculative products can follow the leaders as this rebound continues. Okay, that went out last night, once again, right around here. Well, we can verify it. I'm in the Central Coast, but it says 10:29 is when it was received. Okay, so PM. Right around this area, okay? Right around this area. Actually, it went out earlier. It took quite a while before I got it. I noticed that, so I sent it out earlier. But from this point here all the way up to that point there, we had easily a 10% bounce. But if you picked some of the ones that I was talking about, and I list them, in fact, I think I have the report here. I list them in here: Walton, EOS, PivX. Let's see how some of those did. Let's check out Walton. I mean, I can tell you, I know the answer to it. It roared like crazy. I don't know if it's still doing now. Okay, I haven't checked it just recently. But you picked up, gosh, a good 50. Let's see what it did in a day. I think it was 15% in a day, or 15% in the trading, just at this point, okay? So just at this point. So if you got it at 10-ish, so you're at roughly 28.61. You're right now at, it's up at 31.16. So you picked up roughly a 10% bounce. Roughly a 10% bounce. PivX, PivX may have actually pulled back a little bit, but nonetheless, still is a rising coin. And these are just some of the ones that I picked. Excuse me. These are just some of the ones that I picked. All right, up 34%. So the point of it is that I'm using indicators on my site, coinpicker.us, that just nobody has, as far as I can tell. There are some great sites out there. CoinMarketCap is fantastic. CryptoScanner is useful, but the problem is they don't tell you, it tells you too late. Okay, wow, look at this. Big uptrend for a lot of different, and it's US dollar based. Big uptrend for a lot of different projects. Rocking and rolling. Also, a lot of them are going down too. But let's see. And the price momentum levels. So some smaller coins, Game, Fun, Ethereum versus Basic Attention Token, NEO versus the US dollar, Qtum, Ethereum, Pay, which is 10x. Some of these are bouncing up. Navcoin burst. Now, Navcoin just got a big push by video. ArcCoin, SLRS, and EOS. So I used these kind of indicators, the price momentum and the price indicator. So the price trend indicator says how strong is that move? Is it something that I can buy into and ride it for a little while? And it, of course, tracks exactly what the prices are coming off of Bittrex. But the first one I sent out, I mean, unfolded like a champ. 10% up in a very short order. That's, I mean, if you just take $1,000 into a particular coin and you get some of these 15-20% bounces in a day, which are now tradable because I'm letting people know about it, then you've made your money for the day. I mean, you've made your $200-300 or whatever it is off of your $1,000 trade. So I think that the great thing to do would be to go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you like the idea of getting the trend predictions before the market in general knows about them, and also specific coin picks, because I engage in that as well. One of the themes that I've been developing is that, and I've talked about it, I think, on the video here, is Ethereum is the new king right now. Ethereum is by far the new king. Now, it's not rising up dramatically today, but the point that I'm getting at with it being the new king is that it did not go down nearly as far as Bitcoin did. And when the market begins to really lift off, Ethereum will probably displace Bitcoin in a big way. Now, Walton is something I've been talking about for a long time, saying Walton is one, and I made a video. Walton is the single coin to ride out down markets. Walton is a hair's breadth away from making a new high while the entire market cap is down roughly $400 million. That is amazing. That's why I'm really thrilled that I was able to share it with my small audience. But those of you who took advice, and of course I'm not giving financial advice, I'm just letting you know what I'm doing, and I certainly am an owner of Walton. Walton has a phenomenal future ahead, at multiples of where we're at now. VeChain, I think, has a phenomenal future ahead. NEO has a phenomenal future ahead. These are it's rising. Now, NEO's taking a really serious hit. VeChain needed a breather, and I pushed it lower on my recommend list because it had risen too far too fast, even in a down cycle. But nonetheless, VeChain is a winning project. It has every ingredient it needs. It has deliverable products. Yeah, it's dropped a little bit, but not very much. And it was relatively close to new highs. So this is a reasonable time to buy into VeChain. In fact, I'm going to be buying in. But this market is more selective, but it's still a bull market. That's the great thing. It's still a bull market. It's just more selective. And if we engage in the buy and hodl, then you're going to be sitting on losses for a very long time. We've got to reorient towards the higher quality shares or the higher quality projects and get through this onslaught of regulation that's coming. And I think we're actually getting relatively close to busting through a lot of it. And at that point, I think the market is going to trend rapidly higher. I know that everybody said, well, the futures are driving it down, and the Chinese New Year, which, by the way, the Chinese New Year isn't in January, it's in February, or the Lunar Year, it's in February 16th or something like that. I don't think these have massive impacts. I think there is certainly an impact, but the power of the transition from a fiat currency, stock market, central bank, central authority-driven world to a decentralized world is so overwhelming that those wouldn't have material impacts were it not for the battle that the market's in. The battle is the decentralized people's power versus the central control of the powers that be, the banks, the insurance companies, the military, the police, all of that. The FINRA organization, the SEC, all of that. That's what the real battle is. That's why we're going down. Otherwise, we would have kept going on. We would have crested $1 trillion already, and we're going to get there eventually. But it's just not. It's going to. We've got a battle ahead. So, fortunately, those of you who are on my list, and the way you get on my list, by the way, go to coinpicker.com. You click on coinpicker.us. .us. You click on that, sign up. You'll get on my list. I'll be sending out another report here shortly. And that report, I mean, I'm not guaranteed to be 100% accurate, but I am providing a detailed technical analysis. I don't show it in the report because it's too small. I just want a quick report to let you know what's going to happen, short-term trend, and then the near-term trend. I said the near-term trend is, the short-term is something you can trade in a day and a couple of hours, okay? And I encourage everybody who's in the crypto market, whether you know it or not, you're in the most speculative market there is. And in speculative markets, trading is the rule of the day. Because if you just hold, you could be sitting on losses for a very long time and missing great opportunities like a VeChain or like Walton or like a PivX that rocketed up and several others that have rocketed up. You could be a buyer of like, let's take Smart Cash, which I always pick on. Yeah, I mean, 35% in a 24-hour period is what, the type of returns that are still available out there if you're willing to trade. And that's what I encourage. I mean, you do what you feel comfortable with. But if you're going to subscribe to my newsletter, my email blast, it is oriented towards providing some information on a higher probability trades. Look what the losses you're suffering. You were at $3 and you're down to 50, 60 cents, 70 cents. You got creamed in Smart Cash. Creamed. Well, I don't like to see that to happen to anybody. So I let people know when the top is in and do my best to help them avoid to ever be involved in the bottom. And that's what I've been doing so far fairly accurately on my videos and also in my email blast. So go ahead and sign up. Go ahead and click subscribe if you like what I'm doing and you want to hear more videos about where the market is heading and when, and making money from the trends up or down, either way. This is coinpicker.us signing out, and I will talk with everybody tomorrow.